Good morning, YouTube. My name's Emery, and I'm not done with cotton harvest, but I'm very close. Last night, we finished this farm here by the barn. We ended up getting 13 modules minus one that's burnt. I'm gonna go drive down there and show you, but this cotton made really good. It was the best cotton, I believe. Again, won't know any of that until it is ginned, but made 12 big modules. We on about 150, a little over 150 acres. Well, 13, I guess, but made 12 modules. I had two other farms of similar size that made 12 modules, but smaller, like overall smaller. So I believe this would be the best cotton this year. I'm going to clean off the stripper, actually just dad's stripper this morning. Here's the plan. We got 100 acres left over in Old Glory. It's not very good, or it's patchy. It's just hard over there for whatever reason. Just missed some rains this year, and well, I guess like lots of years, but so dad offered to go over there. I moved the builder last night, and he offered to he said, I'll go and strip that, and you can get to sowing wheat, because I got plenty of wheat to be sowed. So that's what I'm going to do. Appreciate that, Dad. I'm going to clean off his stripper and get it ready to go, and then he's going to get moved over there at some point and start knocking that out. How much is it going to make? I don't really know. Just hard to tell over there. So he'll work on that. I guess if he needs my help, he gets over there and it's better, then I could always come over there. But that's what I'm going to get his stripper serviced, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to sowing wheat. I have a big day of wheat sowing planned. All right, so here's the module. It started not yesterday, but the day before. Really am surprised how quickly it's burned down. That'll probably be gone today. It was a little tricky yesterday. Got a couple rocks still, which happens. You get rocks, or at least we get rocks. And I was playing with the header settings and all that, trying not to get them, but stay low enough to get all the cotton. And so every time I get a rock, I'm just nervous. Like, oh, is there a spark? Is one of these modules going to burn? And I guess they still could, even though they're not burning now. I guess they could when they get to the gin. I hope not. But anyways, with this smell and the wind blowing towards us, everything just smells smoky. So you get out there, it's like, I smell smoke. Well, yeah, because it's smoking. So you couldn't trust anything. My hands smelt smoky, my clothes, even the little like whiskers on the bonnets or the row units, because it's a porous material, I guess, just a little bit. Like I had my head down in there smelling after I got a rock, and I had to chip it out, and it was sparks and smell. I was like, God, it smells like smoke. Well, smell those little whiskers, those little little fingers, and they have the smell kind of soaked into them. So it was kind of stressful, just nervous, on edge. But anyways, that was 13. So 6 down there, 6 down here, 6 down there. That feels done. All right, I'm gonna go get dirty again. Not for the last time, because after it's done, I gotta get them all cleaned up in the barn. But I'm gonna get it ready for Dad. Well, I wanted to show you one last thing, and I can't show you very well from here, but not this patch, but across is my wheat on one of the new farms I sowed. It looks really good. It jets around, and anyways, I'm not gonna drive down that way, but I'm gonna go drive around to go where that house is down there and look at the other one. And here is this other place. Also looks good. That basketball hoop, I've played some games there with totally this up. This worked out well with the timing of getting the good rain we got on it to get it up, and I think I got hopefully all the volunteer weed, or at least most of it. There may be some still in there, but overall it looks clean. Hopefully anyways, I'm pleased. This is all taking longer than I anticipated because you know, things always do, but I had to mix up some more, mix up some gas and oil for this because I ran out of the premix stuff. I bought the fancy steel brand when I bought this, you know, just because I guess I felt guilty. I went in and bought it. It's real expensive, so I'm not doing that again. But I had to pre-make some stuff and had to find a way to measure, because all they had was this one that makes 2.5 gallons. The 1 gallon ones are easy, just dump the whole thing in, so I didn't have it. Here we go.
I think I forgot to prime it, or choke it.
All right, that's it. Just, you know, that's it. Doing 2 is a lot more work than 1, but Dad's cleaned off, oil's checked, greased, everything needs to be greased. He should be good to go. He needs to remember to grab a key for the tractor from the module builder, otherwise that would be bad. So he's got to do some things with Grandma this morning, and then he'll get moved over there. And for now, I'm gonna go sow wheat. Sando cranes are out thick. They start over there, but they're the thickest kind of right in there, right next to me. So that's looking good. My other farm just kind of hop, skip, and jump right over there. They were on me yesterday, and then 2 days before I scared them away. So now they're here, and here I am sowing wheat. So looks like I'll be in the thick of it for a while. Need this wheat to come up. Some of it has moisture, some of it doesn't. So the fighting cranes, the crane fight begins. I thought I saw a disc that was kind of plowing, which it wasn't spinning, it was pushing dirt. So it wasn't one of these, but I'm gonna check these while I'm here. But it wasn't bad, so it may have just been that there was material in the way. There's one of these here. I'm thinking it was this one right here, since it looks kind of different. Yeah. So you see how it was kind of pushing here, wetter. This is the worst part of it all. But on the side there, it's if I see dirt on top of the disc, I know that it's been spinning around. I got some of these bearings are loose. might need to replace discs next year, but that one's locked down. I hate it when it's one of these way up here. There's washers in here I don't want to lose. Oh, there's something caught underneath here. That's the problem. That happens too. Piece of metal. I think I'm gonna need a hammer. Get this to start back. Too far. Whatever that is. Never seen. I don't know what that is. Okay, hopefully I didn't use my washers. Okay, that's that. You tell me if you know what that is. There's a little hole there. I don't know. Time just to check on things, mostly the seed tubes. Things are, I don't see any buildups, but the tubes. Clean your tubes. Like that one. It's probably right here at the neck. Didn't take much sometimes, but those sticks just get caught sideways in there and just create a bridge over troubled waters. All right. What am I looking for? Things. Mounds of dirt or things in front. Okay. There's some normal squeaking from a grain drill, so it's got to make sure to try to delineate the difference between like normal, just the disc you're just going to squeak some, versus like something unusual, like a rock or things like that. So. Like I just heard before I stopped a little bit of a rock. It's not like a rock kind of squealing, but once it stops, is it because the disc locked down or because it cleared itself? That's what you gotta decide. So just kind of get used to what normal sounds like. Another update, hopefully nothing to show you. I've got about half a great. No tubes are clogged. I've got about a half left of this seed left in the drill. I can't talk. And all good. Once I get closer to empty, see the gauges, I'll fill up. I gotta move my truck out of the way so I can sew the ends, and then I will move on to around my parents' house. That's all a good couple, many hours away, but that's where I'm going next. Here to my parents, and once I finish my parents, which won't be today, hopefully tomorrow, then I'll be done on my east farms. A lot of bigger farms over here, moving near the barn, and I can get going on that. The thing that will be a little bit different over there, a couple things. I've got grain in the grain truck without an auger, so I've got to use the auger on the chain hoist in the barn and auger it into a cart. So that's one thing I gotta get done. And I'm gonna need all of that out of the truck because I've got enough land that I need all of it this year. And then I bought about 80 bushels of certified seed of a new variety. I've planted TAM 114 for a lot of years. It's been good. TAM being Texas A&M variety. I'm gonna try some TAM 116. The 115 didn't have great results. Actually, the trials that I've seen, A&M does a lot of trials every year, and we just had a bad wheat growing conditions for a lot of years, especially at their trial sites. So there's not a ton of great data, and 116 doesn't really show up that good around here. It has better results on the plains. So I'm gonna try it. I've heard good things. I got a buddy that's planted it side by side, and he really liked it better than his 114. So we're gonna give it a shot, and I'm gonna plant it on the 160 because that's about 80 bushels, and that's about an 80-acre field. So I should be able to get that whole field planted in that variety, and hope that it doesn't get hailed on, and hope that it grows well and produces lots of seed, enough to catch seed for all my farms. That would be the goal. That's a lot to tell you about what's going to happen, but those are things that have to happen. Once I get to that point, I got to clean the drill out so that it's completely empty of 114, and then plant the 116. I had to get a bag from 2 different places because I messed up and didn't get 2 bags when I was in my mind. Oh, I'll just try 1 bag, but if the wheat doesn't make great, then it wouldn't be enough to catch for all the seed I need. So I had another one. Had to get it from a different place. It's certified, but hopefully it's clean and pure and not full of other varieties. So I'm going to try to keep the 40 acres of separate. We'll see what happens. I don't know how much I have left. I forgot to look. I've done over 100 acres. I know about 150 acre field. So I'm walking to get the grain drill. I'm going to get my exercise in here after sitting for a while because I need that out of my way after so when I can sew the ends. So I guess it's not that far really. This field has long rows, so the turn row is not that long, but I guess I'm obviously gonna drive it down here and fill up. And I guess I'll drive it right back off out of the way and then walk back. I guess that makes the most sense. I mean, I could park it in where I've sowed and then just drive out, but I don't like to leave tracks in the field. I like it looks nice and clean and drill rows and all that, so I'll just walk.
That's how you have skips. Almost got that one too low.
perfect. I mean, not perfect, but good enough. So that'll get me for sure finished here, and probably the rest of the day at my parents', I guess. Let me get down. I got another cart that's full. Instead of trying to do a partial load and get that empty, I'm probably gonna dump. I was gonna use that red cart to fill up from the grain truck, but well, I guess I'm still waiting on Samuel. He said they may have some carts at Helena that I could borrow to get my wheat seed in. If not, I'm gonna use the red cart because it's got the lower sides to be able to lift over the bags. And then I think on this cart, I'm gonna be done with it and start augering out of the grain truck into this one. So I'll take this one back at some point and then grab the other one. I think that makes sense. All right, I'm back. That wasn't so bad. Okay, now I can tell you exactly. 116 acres I've worked. I think there's 151 here. Plus I do the ends, call it 155 or so. Alright. So far so good. Let's keep the momentum going. I'm real close to finish. I skipped that through right there because I wasn't sure how this was going to end up. So I'll have to, here's why. There's a fence on this end of the field, but down there's not. And I wanted to get up to the fence, but up there, sometimes it's hard to tell because there's washers and stuff. So now that I know I got it, I'm gonna be down and then back. So when I come back down here, I'll sew the end out, and then I'll come back down and have to double sew some to finish there. And then I'll have to do 3 passes along that end to end up where I need to be. So that's the whole purpose. But I thought while I'm here stopped, I'm gonna check out my seed tubes. Hasn't been too bad. There's some, but I'm not getting a ton clogged, which I'm thankful for. We just gotta keep checking it. And then there was a disc, I think it was the other side, the very last one behind the tires. It was kind of looking like it wasn't spinning or leaving a darker trail. You seen this enough already? It looked like it was leaving a darker trail, but it also could be shadows. You know, like right there, that's wetter right there. Why? Well, I don't know. Could be it's close to the row, and where I strip tilled, it's still softer. That's probably what it is, but everything looks good. All right, just a little bit more. Move on to the next field. Here's what I mean about this end of the field. It's a pig waller. It falls off for some reason here, just at the very end. And there's not really a boundary marker to know exactly where my next row should be. So as I'm saying that, I should have got over there and figured out how close to get to that fence. So I'll just kind of guesstimate here, and then when I get to the fence, I'll make sure I'm where I need to be. All right, got some washes here. Normally I would love to be able to get these fixed before I put wheat through them, but I'll just let Ricky Dale and the combine deal with them. I'll fix them when it's in fallow. Just gotta take it easy. Well, if you're paying attention better than I am, you'll know that I will be able to go up against the fence because I'll be down there. And then that'll be perfect. So, you know, it's like I planned it. Sorry, that sun is right behind you. Sorry, that's the way I planned it. Well, I'm getting it. There's some big washes here, just going real slow and trying to take it easy. I don't want to break anything. I don't think, I haven't broken anything. I've gone through washes like this before, just go really, really slow, and it seems to do okay. Like that was a baby one. So, all right. Got to get to the end. Get my distance up against the fence. Then I'm not done. I'm getting real close. Alright. Gotta go. That's close enough. Combiner probably can't get as close as I'm sowing, but you know, might as well cover it all. On this drill, it's the two sections over there on the left side are tied together, and that one's driven off just those tires by itself. So I could put that 20 feet up in road gear, and so when I put the gangs down, those would not plant, and just this 10-foot would. Then you leave tracks in the field, you know, and I don't want tracks in the field, so I'm just gonna sow it all. Just flexing, you know, that I got, hoping maybe that I have enough wheat seed. I should, with buying 80 bushels of certified, I should have plenty. All right, big wash here, so just take it easy. It goes through pretty smooth on a lot of these if you just take it easy. That one used to be the worst one. Now there's one up here that's gotten bad. Look at all those stinking cranes. Golly. Stay away from me. All right. Got that field done. Got Emily's dad is still here, and he's brought me another grain cart to where I'm going next, and then he's coming to get my truck and move it to where I'm going next so I can keep rolling. Visibility really is the best at nighttime, I think, for like sowing wheat. Like seeing all the disc openers there and seeing my reflective tape spinning on all the shafts to make sure I'm still putting out seed and haven't broken a chain, not pushing dirt in front of those openers. So the hardest is where I just was at Graceland, because the sun was just casting shadows. That's a hard place to farm with the sunlight, like especially like planting cotton late in the day when the sun's at your back. Yeah, you can't see a thing. So there's not many fields I have that rows run east and west. That would be Bob's and Graceland. Then I guess one of the new farms I picked up, Kent's, is running east and west. So not by design, just the way it works out. All right. Neighbor's sowing wheat right over there himself. Tight 180-degree turn. Back to it. Looks to be still some good moisture in there. It's hard to tell with this light, but I can see a little darker tinge. So I actually started sowing wheat here my parents' house where I first started, but it was really wet. I made it just up there, and then I was like, it was muddy, and I was afraid I was going to get stuck. And I was just curious if there was going to be any wheat seed popping up yet. It's kind of dark and hard to see. I don't really know if it's been warm enough yet. If it is, it's going to be so little. I can't tell if it is. I don't know. But I'm here now, so kind of unconventional starting where I'm starting, but I was not about to dig out mud everywhere. No, ain't nobody got time for that. I did that in cotton harvest, or cotton planting. I'm not doing that again in cotton planting. I'm still waiting for some recommendations. I'm gonna get those spoked wheels, the gauge wheels for John Deere Max Emerge. Don't fall. Planter XP. So if you got recommendations, I'm all ears. So call it PTSD if you want. Should go good today. Should go good here. Now it's dried. Hopefully there still should be some good moisture in there. This had the most rain of any farm that I have, so should be good. Should be good moisture. There's also rocks here, so just be watching for rocks and sticks in the tubes. There comes my crew with my truck and the empty grain cart, and then Emily's dad in the truck behind. They got me a new cart at the house. That way I can keep rolling. I'm gonna get this, probably sow this out, I don't know, a couple more hours, and then call it. Still here, still sowing. Once those boxes get empty, then I'm going home, but not yet. Well, that's all for me. I thought I was gonna walk, but Dad's showing up too. He stripped some cotton for me today, so he's gonna give me a ride. I'm gonna go home. You keep watching. If you're gonna farm it.